Hundreds of thousands marching in Washington were joined by millions across America protesting abortion on demand, which has left us with a body count of 55 million innocent American lives and millions more wounded by the loss of their children because of the Roe v. Wade decision 40 years ago.
There's a cry rising up from the remnant in this land, growing louder every day. Can you hear us say the unborn child must live?
I'm Janet Porter. The most often asked question from those returning from the marches and protests is, what do we do now? One goal, of course, is to defund Planned Parenthood and abortions, and to stand with companies who stand against the abortion funding in Obamacare. But better than defunding abortion is ending abortion. Because despite pro-life majorities, the technology, and the election of pro-life candidates, after 40 years, abortion is still legal for any reason in all 50 states. We've all seen the bumper sticker, "Abortion stops a beating heart." What if there was a way that a beating heart could stop abortion? There is. The heartbeat bill, which passed the Ohio House last session, is being reintroduced in the state with the motto, "With God, all things are possible." Why heartbeat? This universal indicator of life is viewed as even more threatening to the abortion industry than personhood initiatives, which so far have not yet succeeded.
There's something almost magical about the heartbeat. Is there life? Well, if there's a heart beating, there's a life. Of course.
That's all you need to know. Jack Wilkie knows more about this than all of us combined.
This little baby was 6 weeks and 5 days old from conception when we made this recording. In the average person's mind, if there's a heartbeat, there is life. And it's just that simple.
Why have we never thought of this before? It was a stroke of brilliance that we protect life when there is a heartbeat. But actually, no, it's not a stroke of brilliance. It was divine inspiration. At the fullness of time. Why had never thought of it before? Perhaps because God was waiting for the fullness of time, for this time.
The heartbeat bill simply ensures that if a heartbeat is detected, the baby is protected. It has overwhelming statewide support. 8 out of 10 Republicans, 7 out of 10 independents, and a Democrat majority by a 5-3 margin support the heartbeat law.
The opportunity to educate the public is invaluable. Just having the news reporter talk about the heartbeat bill reminds the public of the humanity of the child.
These groups have come up with many excuses. The time is not right. The bill is not quite right. Whatever their excuse, in reality, they are too fearful to believe that they can win now.
Come on.
To not even try is a loss by default.
The great state of Ohio is again on the front lines in the fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. I hear the babies crying. If I could just get to Ohio, I can live. They will hear my heartbeat and know that I am human, that I am a person. The cries of the babies are loud. Can you hear them? They are crying, I have made it to Ohio. Let me live.
After 40 years, the time to protect babies with beating hearts is now. If you agree, join us at the website f2a.org. Sign up and become a part of bringing the killing to an end. Faith to Action is helping other states, including Kansas, Michigan, and Mississippi, who also passed our heartbeat bill through their House last year, but like ours, was killed in the Senate.
If Ohio could quickly pass the heartbeat bill, it would encourage our representatives in Mississippi to do likewise. Come on, Ohio, you can do it. Pass the heartbeat bill as quickly as possible.
With the current administration, this Supreme Court may be our best Supreme Court for some time. With all eyes on the swing vote, Justice Kennedy.
And we're sending a bill to the Supreme Court which will judge its constitutionality. And in my mind, I have no doubt, none at all, where Kennedy will be on this vote.
This isn't the right time for this bill and this piece of legislation, then there is never going to be a time for this legislation.
Even if the court were to strike down the heartbeat provisions, the informed consent provisions would be upheld. This would provide an opportunity to educate the woman as to the humanity of her child and the fact that her baby has a heartbeat.
That's why I'm proud to support it. I call upon the legislature to act with rectitude of judgment and pass this bill.
I want you to know that someday in America, people are going to tour the abortuaries, and they're going to say, you're not going to believe what actually happened to other human beings in these places. And they're going to say, where was the church when this was going on? And we're going to say, we rose up and we made a difference, and in Ohio we put a stop to it this day.
And I want to say to every senator that for whatever reason votes against this bill, if it fails, every child lost, every abortionist will be held accountable for. But the greater accountability will be for those who had the chance to make a difference and for whatever reason chose not to. This is our hour. This is our time. Vote this bill.
Can you hear life inside every heartbeat? Every heartbeat. Save the life that lives inside every heartbeat. Can you hear the sounds? Can you hear the sounds?